All right. Hey, thanks, everybody. I'm so excited. I hope you guys are. This has been, what a little journey we've already been on. How many of you have just come back from seeing the tour, being at the warehouse? Okay, is that unbelievable? I was telling my friends, I said, I have been on that tour, I don't know how many times. How many times have you been on that tour? Yeah, 200. I have been on that tour so many times, and every time I get more and more excited because just it validates every reason that we're here. And I am so grateful for that. So I'm so excited that you've come off that high, and now I get to have you for just a little bit. So bear with me, but I want you to know that for the next couple of minutes, what we're going to be talking about, it's all about you. Okay? I just want you to know that what we're going to be talking about, it doesn't matter about me. I am just a messenger. Everything depends on you, and pray for me that I might be able to put my words in a way that you might realize how important these things are. Because if I do a bad job, then you might miss the opportunity of your entire lifetime. So really and truly, I just want you to know that we do care about you. We're excited that you're here, and the message is worthy of your strict attention. Now, I want to talk to you about just some of the reasons that we're all here. You know, we're all so different. So many of us have come here for different reasons. Maybe you are here because you are so excited about the products. Maybe you just want to try the products. You're just learning about them. Maybe you want to take the products free of charge. You want to learn how you can just cover the expense of your products. Maybe you're here because you are so attracted to this business opportunity, and that is really what stirs you, and that's why you're here. Maybe you're interested in pulse wave technology, and you are wowed by this measurement of health, and you really want to be able to engage in that. How about you are a wellness provider, and you are looking for two things. Maybe you want to know how some of this information that you are just now hearing about can really impact your own practices by being able to offer superior care to your patient base. And also, maybe you are looking, is this possible to create another income source? How many wellness practitioners are here by chance? Just raise your hand. Do we have any? Okay. All right. I'm going to just give you some quick background, okay? And then from that, we're going to move forward. And I need you to know that I'm an emotional person, so just get used to it. Don't worry about it. But, you know, I think about my beginnings of Synergy. I think about what the Synergy story has been to me for so long. Do you know, on November 1st, it will be my 8-year anniversary with Synergy. I know! Can you believe that? I thought it was 9. I lied to Stuart earlier because he whispered to me last time we were together, how long have you been with Synergy? I said 9 years. So really it's just 8. But it has been such an amazing ride. Now I just want you to know that when I was introduced to networking, it was over 20 years ago. And I was a single mom. I had 2 little kids. And I was desperate to make some money. And I give you this information because I want you to know that I am very familiar with some of the circumstances people find themselves in. And at that time, I was desperate. I was scared. I was alone. I had absolutely no idea. In fact, I had no idea how to cover the bills that came. I didn't even have an idea of having an idea. I found myself in this state. Do you know what I mean? And I was almost immobilized to do anything else. And I remember, and I've told some of you this, in my kitchen I had these wicker shelves. And every time a bill would come in, and you know, maybe you do this too, a bill would come in and you would date it of when it was due. And I would stack those envelopes on this wicker shelf. And every night I'd go to bed and I'd look at that blasted wicker shelf. And it just was this horrible, horrible feeling. And then I'd go up and I'd try to go to sleep, and I was so scared. And I had no possibilities. And at that time, I was teaching piano lessons. And actually, that was kind of what I did. But, you know, it's funny because when you have exhausted all possibility and it's not covering it, you get into this place. And that is the only place I just want to say that if you have ever been there, or maybe you're there now, I want you to know I understand that place. I want you to know I don't like that place. And I hope so much that if This is the right time in your life. You can get yourself out of that place. And I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do to empower yourself to do that. My brother actually, during this time in my life, he actually told me about this company. And this was the first experience I had had with networking. It was called Nu Skin International. Maybe you have heard of Nu Skin. Have you, anyone? Wonderful company. You know what? This company really, this experience taught me everything I know about networking. But I went to this meeting, and I actually planned to be very disinterested. I was going to really get my brother off my back because he was such an annoyance. And so I went to this meeting, and I had it all planned out, and I was going to just cross my arms and cross my legs, and you know how body language, you know that nobody's going to approach you because you're simply not interested. And I really think that I was the idiot in that presentation. I think they had to like pull me from the ceiling because I was so excited, because I realized all of my hopes was wrapped up in this concept that I thought I hated, that I thought was bad, that I thought was wrong. And I realized that the principles taught in this meeting about networking, it was going to save my life. And I will promise you this, that network marketing done correctly it is an absolute fairy tale. Network marketing done wrong is a hideous and miserable experience. How many of you in this room have ever participated in networking? Raise your hand. Ever. Have you ever? Okay, exactly. By the way, everyone in the front, that was probably every hand. Now, how many of you in this room have been really successful in network marketing? How many of you hit the goals that you set out to reach when you started your enterprise? How many? James and Roxanne and Steve. Okay? Basically a couple and James. That's 2 people. Do you know when I went to Japan, there were probably 2,000 people in this audience. And I asked the same question. Now, I was assuming when I said, how many people have been in network marketing before? And, you know, they all raised their hand. I asked this question. I said, how many of you have been successful? I expected every single hand to go up. Guess what? Guess how many hands went up? Maybe 20. Maybe 10. That's it. And I thought, whoa, what is wrong with this picture? And so then we have to evaluate, why are you here? What are you thinking? Why are you here? Because certainly, if you have done it before and you haven't been successful, was it you? And then you have to think further, and you have to realize it absolutely isn't you. You have been involved in companies that were lacking certain elements that made the availability of success to you impossible. It was not you. The belief in an enterprise like this is pure. It works if you know how to do it and if you will do it. And that is why I talk fast and I get excited and I cry, because this message is so important, because I realize that if you understand it, that you're going to get on a path like I did. So I joined this company, Nu Skin. And you know something? My first check was $36.63. I promise you that is true. And I was so excited because it about doubled my, spendable income, I think. Then, you know something, my check jumped to like $250, then $350, and then $650, and then $680. And then I became a leader in that company, and my check jumped to $6,400. And I thought I had made $10 million. I really did. And you know something? I can tell you, I threw that wicker shelf away. And that was so wonderful. Now, I tell you that, again, to form a bond between us. Because I don't know where you're at emotionally in your life right now, or what brings you to synergy. It's one of those things, probably. But you know something? I retired. I retired from Nu Skin. After some time, it took me 7 years to become what they call the Blue Diamond, and that was the top of that pay plan. And I was so excited. It was such an accomplishment. But shortly after that, I retired. I retired from actively building my business with Nu Skin, because the dynamics in that company had changed. And I wasn't able to help people become successful like I was. And I felt that in good conscience I couldn't move forward and tell people that it was possible when I wasn't sure. And so I totally backed away. And I just figured, that's my networking experience. I guess, I had it good, it was great, and it's over. And then a friend of mine called years later. And he said, you know what, there's a company I want you to take a look at. And you know what, I marched in to meet Dan Higginson.